really fast, while this is on my mind, Team USA, the men's US national team. So we're preparing Olympics in Paris. Now, in terms of jerseys, listen, I don't know if you've seen these, okay, before we get to the shoes. These jerseys are $150, okay? For fans to pay that, you better go out and win gold. That's just where I stand. You better go out and win gold. Whose jersey would I actually want or possibly buy? It would have to be Steph, right? This is his very first time playing on the Olympic team. And it was funny to see LeBron say, it's about time to see them play together on the Olympic roster. I believe the question was posed to him why, this is your first time and possibly why was he on teams previously. Well, one in 2016, he was injured and coming and dealing with that injury. And so I'm just excited for him to be on this team now. So I believe he's wearing number 4. So yes, that would be the jersey for men's. For the women, it's difficult. It's tough. You guys already know Asia being number 1, but then I also have Chelsea, and there's Kelsey, and there's Jack. There's just so many on the women's side that I would want. Absolutely not just running down the entire roster of buying those jerseys. Absolutely not. Maybe one. We'll see what I treat myself to. Once these student loans are finally gone, because if you didn't check, there was a $1,200 payment made. One was paid off. That third to last loan is gone. I am down to 2, just 2. There's only 2 left between me and freedom, so I'm right there. Be sure to check that video out. But for the pairs we've seen for the men's national team heading to Paris, I just want to give you guys a rundown of my top 3. Just real quick, my top 3. Of course, they're all decked out white, red, and blue for the USA. So we have a plethora of brands, but the prominent ones you guys will know, of course, Adidas, Nike. I will say you have Skechers in the mix now, thanks to Joel Embiid. I know that won't be a favorite. And then, of course, Curry is donning his own brand itself. So for me, top 3, and then I'll give an honorable mention. And I know this may shock some people, and that's okay. Feel free to put your top 3 because they'll be here on the screen. So please feel free to put your top 3 in the comment section of this video. I also have one where I think they just dropped the ball, and we'll discuss that as well in this video. Number 1. It has to actually go to the AE one. Now, we've seen a few different colorways for a few of these signature pairs for players, because what you see here, it isn't necessarily like the only colorway that they have. We have, a few options. But I would have to say number 1 is the AE one. I just love everything about it, what they've done with it, and it being this low. Now, from what we've been told, these will not drop to the public, which is unfortunate, but I also get it. You keep some things just for the moment. I have no problem with that. Maybe down the line they release like one of the Olympic colorways. I don't know. That would be pretty dope, Adidas, if you chose to do that. But I think Ant's pair, I absolutely love it. So number 2 for me would actually have to be the Sabrina 2. I think they did a great job. So you guys can see Drew Holiday is rocking the Sabrina 2. I love it. Like, I've already done a video, and you guys can check that out on the DNA of the Sabrina 2. It certainly is inspired by Kobe and the Kobe 5, and that's natural based on what he meant to her in her life. And the fact that some wanted to mansplain that to me is really wild. It really is. But I think the Sabrina 2 takes it at the number 2 spot for me. I would love to see a red colorway of that, but also predominantly blue. So hopefully we get to see that as we get closer to the actual Olympics kicking off. 3rd for me, and it's not the white colorway that does it, it's more so the blue colorway, but I also appreciate the white pair. And again, my list, not yours, my 3rd would be the Curry. So he's debuting the Curry 12. We don't have a whole lot of news or information on it, but I think the Olympic stage is a great place. You have eyes on it all over. We know that Curry is a beloved superstar all across the world. So I think this is the perfect stage to debut the Curry 12. I love the navy pair they have. From what we've seen, I'll definitely try to make sure it's on the screen. I love the navy pair. The white pair allows you to see quite a bit of the detailing that is in there, but I definitely love the navy pair. So shout out to the Curry team and everything that they're doing. So yeah, just the navy pair does it for me. I like the white pair, but navy. Now, honorable mention for me, coming in like just in that 4th spot, would actually be the KD 17. I like this, and it's actually the white pair that won me over. So this just predominantly all white upper, the design that it really does have like that detailed. I always think of it as like a bubble effect on the upper of the shoe, but I like the gradient from blue into red. I think that's a really nice touch by Nike. So those are my top three, and then the honorable mention with the KD17. Now, where I think someone dropped the ball. And I saw an article on this being very boring, and it's really unfortunate. The Booker won because apparently we're probably not going to see anything that's really different or eye-catching or just them really leaning all the way into something we haven't seen, right? We haven't seen, I don't think, the colorways that we're seeing right now, or maybe just the specific ways in which they're detailing these shoes for Paris Olympics and Paris Olympics versus other colorways that are out for these shoes. I mean, we're seeing for the very first time the Curry 12. We hadn't even seen that. We've seen the book one, and this article I think is very accurate in that the really coveted colorways weren't even available to the masses or the public to buy. That was more so just for himself or PEs. We know we've seen PJ Tucker in specific pairs, so it's unfortunate. Like, people have called the book one boring, and I don't think that it's boring in all ways. I think there are some colorways that are very subtle and they work, but I can empathize with consumers feeling like it just doesn't do a whole lot for them, and knowing that it's like just a predominantly all red pair, I think, that we saw him in so far from the few clips that we've gotten. And I think he said maybe they'll play around with like the Cortez colorway, but it's unfortunate. I will say that. I think this has been a little bit of a rocky rollout for his first signature shoe. Just didn't go, I think, how a lot of people expected it to go. The Miami drop just didn't make, yeah, it hasn't made a whole lot of sense. And that is unfortunate. I know that Booker isn't everyone's favorite, and I know people have a lot of criticism about him. And with the shoe, I don't know that it's gotten better. I don't. Yeah, I don't know that it's gotten better. But I do think we have just a nice array of pairs. People are super critical in comment sections of posts in relation to the USA shoes. I quite like them, so go ahead and comment below your top three from what we've seen so far. At least for the men's national team, we haven't seen what the women will wear, but I think they'll probably get an array of PEs themselves from brands that they are signed to, whether it be Nike, Adidas, Puma. We have already seen Stewie's shoe, so we see what she'll debut in Paris, and Sabrina, I'm sure she will have quite a few Sabrina 2s, and I could see other Olympians also playing if they're on Team Nike in the Sabrina 2 itself, and we're still awaiting Asia's pair from 2025. So I see her wearing some PEs of some sort based on the Olympic team colors for the LeBron 21. So again, share your thoughts below. Really appreciate you tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.